So in this session, we're going to look into the capability to build a responsive web page using WebFOCUS Designer. So I already created a bunch of charts in here so we can run them. And the idea is to include them into a responsive page to be used on any mobile or non-mobile device. So we're going to use the assemble visualization in here to build a custom page of elements. So I'm going to start with that one. Of course, you could easily move things around, resize, add elements. So in here, I'm going to add my calls per day, which is a line chart, which is quite relatively big. So we're going to go for the number of agents. It looks boring, so let's go for the number of agents in here and replace that content in here. So it looks good. So we want to get a little bit more. So we're going to go for the number of calls, add that one in here. So we got our reports. So I want to add the call time as well. So if I drag and drop it in here, I add it as a new tab. So I got two tabs in here. In case I don't like the tabs, I could easily change them to something else. So I'm going to change them to an accordion, moving to that plus navigation. So I'm going to be able to navigate that way. So in case I don't like that one, let's convert it to a carousel, which is going to be the most easiest way. So, okay, now that I got the elements, of course, the first thing is if I run it, that page, oops, let me close that page in here. So let's leave that one. So if I resize that page, let's resize it. You can see it's going to change. So depending on the size of the screen, it's going to change the elements. So that's how it's going to look on a mobile phone, for example. As you see, that is just a mess. It doesn't make any sense to have that element on the page if you're getting to the page from a mobile device like a phone. So I can go back to Designer and select those elements. And if I go to the elements, I can disable capability, and I can also tell the system when to display the element. So it's currently set to be shown on a PC type of device, on a tablet, as well as a mobile. So let's remove the mobile tab and let's save that report, that page. So we're going to put it into here, into my call center elements. So that's my responsive page. Keep that one. So let's go. Let's go to the page in here. So I put the element onto the call center folder. So we run it in a new window. Again, it's working. It's in here. By the way, there are no filters yet. So let's add the filters first. So my responsive page in here, go to filters. We're going to add all the filters to the page. So we got our filter elements on the page. Going to go for those. We can run it again, of course. So now we got our filter in here. Looks pretty good, but actually I want them to be hidden by default. So let's hide them by default. Save it again. So we got all those capability. So run it again. There we go. We got our page heading. We can enable and disable filters. So we can filter on elements in here if we want to. So let's stay with that one. So close that one. Go back to my page. So again, I can resize it in here. See the filter change a little bit, so I can close it. And as you see, based on that very small resize of the screen, that element disappeared. So if I go to something that's going to be closer to a tablet type of device, we're back getting that one. Going back to a small screen, we're down to that elements in here. Of course, we can close that one. We can work with those elements, and whatever I do, it's trying to build my elements. So if I have a very small device, it's going to build my filter as a pop-up instead of just trying to squeeze it in here. And again, as I mentioned, the second element is gone from the screen. It's a very easy way to build elements based on the device. So of course, I could also add a second element in here. So going back to my responsive page. So that one is hidden on a mobile device. So to stay with 3 elements, we can change the sizing a little bit in here, get us some extra space in here, go back to content, and let's go for something like the calls by status. Add that one in here. Go back to what we had. Move that one over here. So again, select that one, and I'm gonna make that visible for a mobile type of device only. So we can save it again. Rerun our report. So again, now we're on a PC type of device. We got those 3 elements. We're going to resize. Moving down, we now have that screen here. So depending on my size, that element is going to disappear. So the second pie chart disappeared. The line chart appeared, just depending on the size of my screen. Gets me great flexibility. So it's still good enough. Going to a smaller device, the typical mobile phone device, I lost my line chart, I gained my second pie chart, and that's how you build it. Yeah, if you like, please hit subscribe and take a look at other videos on my channel here.